Welcome back, dear viewers. You're watching the Breakfast Show live on Miles TV International. It's now time for a second topic of discussion for today. And as we noted earlier in our introduction, the Board of Directors of the Central Bank has issued new instructions to banks concerning executing bank transfers in the local currency in the shortest possible time in a manner that supports the state's approach to transforming the digital economy. And to shed more light on this topic, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Mr. Hany Abou el Fotouh, an economic expert. Very good morning, Dr. Hany, and thanks so much for joining us on the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, and thank you for inviting me here today.
Yes, Mr. Hany, first of all, how do you see the Central Bank's directives for banks to execute bank transfers in the shortest possible time, and how do you see the ramifications of this step?
Well, let me first elaborate on what are these new instructions regarding money transfers. Banks, in fact, shall receive customer money transfers requests during the working hours or through the electronic channels around the clock. Then the execution of the transfers within the same bank will be made within a maximum of 2 hours, which is a great achievement, of course, for speeding up the operational efficiency of money transfers. If the transfer to accounts in another bank, it should be executed with a maximum of 3 hours of receiving the customer's request. And if the customer request is received after the cutoff time, which is set at 2 p.m., it will be transferred with a maximum 3 hours from the start of the next business day. In fact, the central bank's instructions support the government initiative to accelerate the transformation to the digital economy. At the same time, customers are getting special benefits to execute transfers electronically to encourage them to use the electronic channels.
Yes, Mr. Hany, also, how do these directives contribute to increasing the competitiveness and efficiency of the banking operations of Egyptian banks? Can you please elaborate on that?
There is an important element here, which is the speed of execution of the wire transfers with minimal or no human interaction. The speed of executing the wire transfers may, at the beginning, involve manual interactions, particularly when the customer's requests are received at the bank counters. If the requests are received through electronic channels, they would be processed automatically with minimum human interaction. This enhancement is actually aimed at increasing the level of what is called straight-through processing, which means that the automated process to execute the money transfer instructions with absolutely no manual intervention. And as I said earlier, the high degree of automation and speed of executing the wire transfers enhances the operational efficiency and speed up the money transfer between accounts within the same bank, or even with two banks, to other banks, and this will increase the efficiency and will give Egyptian banks competitive edge and put them on equal footing with the regional and international banks.
Yes, Mr. Hany, also the Central Bank of Egypt's Board of Directors decided to extend several decisions taken to confront the repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic for 6 months from January 1st till June 30th, including directives for the tourism sector. Can you please tell us more details about these initiatives?
The Central Bank issued its directives to banks to waive commissions on money transfers for local currency money transfer services, and issuing electronic wallets for free. Also, the directives included waiving fees for transfers between mobile accounts and bank accounts, and waiving the fees for issuing prepaid cards, and particularly the new contactless cards, and waiving the fees for cash withdrawals from ATMs. All these facilities alleviate the financial burden of citizens and demonstrate that the banking sector indeed is exerts proactive efforts to deal with the economic repercussions of the COVID-19. Likewise, these initiatives also show that the central bank is playing a vital role to protect the national economy. If we speak about the tourism, the two initiatives for the tourism sector, the central bank extended the duration of the two initiatives targeted at tourism sector and its workers for another 6 months in fact, this extension was based on President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's directives to roll out the bailout package to support the economy amid the COVID-19 crisis. So, if we speak about the grace period of loans of tourism sector workers, the initiative will extend to the end of 2021, and the first installment will be made in January 2022. So the government and the central bank work in tandem to confront the difficult repercussions of the COVID-19, and we hope that all these efforts boost the economy and put it in a good shape.
Yes, indeed. Mr. Hany, also the Central Bank of Egypt has announced last week that the net foreign reserves rose to $40.06 billion in December from $39.22 billion a month earlier. What does this increase in foreign reserves mean or imply?
Let me first note that as a result of the economic repercussions of the COVID-19 outbreak, the foreign exchange reserves have been falling since March 2020 from a high of more than $45 billion, which was recorded in February last year. Here, I want to explain that Egypt imports of goods is estimated at an average of $5 billion a month, and totaling more than $55 billion a year. And, consequently, the current average foreign exchange means that we are able, the government is able to cover about 8 months of commodity imports. I want also to say that the foreign reserves are an important factor for attracting foreign investments because the foreign reserves provide confidence to investors about the strength of the Egyptian market.
Mr. Hany, we'd like to listen to your closing remarks, please.
My closing remark is optimistic with conservatism, with some concern about the future of the global economy, because still the forecast about the global economy is yet not clear amid the outbreak of the second wave of the coronavirus. And as IMF chief strategist stated a couple of days ago, that the issue, the key issue here is how successful the vaccine would be distributed among all countries. So if the spread of the vaccine is distributed and citizens around the world get the vaccine in a more an accelerated way, this would be reflected on the state of the economy and production and efficiency of the global trade.
We really appreciate your insight, Mr. Hany Abou el Fotouh, an economic expert, joining us over the phone on The Breakfast Show. Thank you so much for your insight. And dear viewers, by this, we come to the end of today's episode of The Breakfast Show.